Okay, I've drawn my bee balm, my lavender, or I've sketched it in there, the little scarlet runner bean blossoms and the little vine and a bit of the vase here. So I'm ready to go. Let me go ahead and make another pitch for this brush. Princeton 14 long round velvet touch 3950LR. I paint almost my entire painting, including indicating some of those fine lines with this brush because it comes to a fairly fine point. Don't paint, so I don't know who said this, I didn't, but start out with a shovel, end with a fine fork. At the end, and this is not my good one, it's over there. I'll end up with this one, which actually comes to a very fine point, and his brothers, which are a little bit more controllable point. But I don't do that until the very last step, until I have everything else painted, and then I use that rigger that I just showed you to get some details. Same colors. I will start out painting the hot, warm colors in the foreground, which are the reds. And then I will indicate some greens. Okay, I want to point this out. This bee balm is not the color of what we've painted. I can't even remember the poppy we painted. It was a more orangey color, which is what the color of the scarlet runner bean blossoms are. They are not truly scarlet at all. The bee balm is more of a the bee balm is more of a cadmium red dark going into purples. But anyway, so in that purple, that red violet runs down that leaf in such an exquisite way, and it's pointing down to a blue violet in the lavender that's bringing your eye on down. So I have a lot of challenges here. I will use all of these paints. Let me just say something. When I bought these paints, and it's been a while, thank God that Da Vinci paints, if you keep them sealed, last for a long time. But it was quinacridone magenta. They don't sell that color anymore. I think it's a permanent rose, and I'm going to do some more. I'm going to order some paint to see what color that you need there. But I've been telling you quinacridone magenta, and that's what I have. But I'm going to get another color to put there so that I can show you where to go. So I'll start with cadmium yellow light. Very little of that cadmium yellow light on the bee balm because the yellow in cadmium yellow light and the purple in quinacridone magenta or whatever else, the opus I'll use before I make brown. A little dab will do you. So I will use cadmium yellow light, cadmium yellow dark, cadmium orange, cadmium red light for the little scarlet runner beans. So here we go. I have my clear. I've switched from the Fancy Nancy paint tubs, and I'm using clear jars, and I like that because I like to have a jar for yellowish, orangish colors, a jar for greenish colors, and a jar for bluish colors. And that's the one way that I keep my paints clear and bright. Okay, there we go. So let's see. I'm going to start out by watering this quite a bit, and I'm actually just going to kind of I'll say this over and over again. When I paint a color one place, and that's way too much yellow there. If I come in there quick enough with a wet paper towel, I can get some of that off. In fact, I could get all of it off but some's okay. I just didn't want the whole hog there. Some there. Okay, so anyway, so I'm going to repeat that cadmium yellow here. There's another and there's three little. I'm going to show you this closely, but when I first studied this, I was just so tickled because the little blossoms look like little beans. But the blossoms are not the beans, I don't think. I think the beans come after the blossoms, if they're like the rest of nature. But that kind of tickled me that the the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I guess. Okay, so I've dotted that cadmium yellow here, 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 1, 2, 3, at least 5 places. Okay, now then, I'm going to go from there all the way to cadmium orange, a little bit of cadmium orange right here. Skipping the cadmium yellow dark for the bee balm because, like I said, it just doesn't have that much yellow in it. It's but I will go back to the cadmium yellow dark for a little bit of suggestion in this scarlet runner bean blossom. Okay, let me make a pitch for my garden. I really garden for the flowers and more than I do for the food. I'm not being wasteful. Different strokes for different folks, but I although these scarlet runner beans make green beans, just like the Kentucky Wonder. That was way too much. See how I can pull that out there? Again, paint from the direction it's growing. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, there's that color. Here is the dark cadmium red dark and a little tiny bit of opus. I have to wake up that opus. See how that's opus is giving us more of a purplish color, because it is. I'm not sure, but I think that opus is a quinacridone, and quinacridones just act differently than other colors, and in fact, I'm probably going to buy more and more quinacridones now that I'm painting again. Okay, there we go. There's that indicate that's a start on that. Maybe more than I really wanted, but maybe another imperfect day. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do with our imperfections? Let me tell you something. This came to me just a few minutes ago. For the longest time, there's a song, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. For the long, well, I don't know. It's a real bad habit to blame other people for your own mistakes and your own but my dad was a precise draftsman. He was a cartoonist. He trained as he didn't really use it, but he trained as a cartoonist, and his art was his drawings were very precise. I drew with him some, and came time to go to college, and I wanted to major in art, but my parents wouldn't let me. My dad told me, and yeah, and I'm not being ugly about my dad. My dad was wonderful. In fact, he was my inspiration in so many ways. He said, "You're not precise enough and so I went to college thinking I wasn't good. I wanted to take the art courses, but I didn't think I was good enough. So every time that the teacher would walk around the room and he'd stand over different people's art, and I would freeze completely up. I had performance anxiety, so I try to be sensitive about that when I'm working with, because I know that probably other people feel that way. Now everything I do, you see every mistake I'm making because I'm putting all this online, and you're going to see them as they happen. But so there, I have this reds indicated. I'm going to rinse my brush and wipe it because I'm going to go right on in here, right here, which is a very dangerous proposition, and I'm going to suggest a little bit of that leaf right there. Remember, purple and yellow and there is purple right there, and there is yellow in this lime green. I'm going to show you what I do in just a minute. You think, okay, yeah, let's see it. Okay, that is leaf green. Is the name of that paint. Now I'm going to put a little bit of this Viridian, which is not my favorite color, little devil doobie. Because the bee balm is, the light is hitting the top of the bee balm, and a lot of this is in shadow. Now I'm getting ready to do something that's just going to appall you. And it may appall me, it may not work. It's worked before, but guess what? Every time you do a watercolor, you got a new ball game. Just because it worked before doesn't mean it's going to work this time. Okay, I'm going to... I'm even going to go ahead and put a little bit of the Prussian blue there because it's in such shadow. And I'm doing something I don't like to do. I'm painting that one little area, but it's because what I'm getting ready to do right now needs to happen right this second. I'm gonna let that. I just picked up this quinacridone magenta, and you're gonna see how that's gonna flood down. The water is going to carry that down through there, and I'm not going to do much with it. I'm going to stop because I don't want to overwork that area.